Replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. The Stoic discipline of impression. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. This piercing observation by Epictetus goes to the very core of Stoic mental discipline. It's not about denying reality or forcing a naive optimism, but about understanding the profound power we wield over our inner world. While the phrase "replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts" might sound like a modern self-help mantra, it aligns remarkably well with the ancient Stoic practice of rigorously examining and actively re-evaluating our impressions. For the Stoics, the battle for inner tranquility was won or lost in the mind's moment-to-moment engagement with its own thoughts. The nature of impressions. Not all are truthful. The Stoics understood that our minds are constantly bombarded by impressions, phantasiae. These are the initial automatic thoughts, feelings, or images that arise in response to external events or internal sensations. Many of these impressions are neutral or benign, simply reflecting reality. However, many others come preloaded with judgments, often negative ones, that we tend to accept without question. An unexpected bill arrives, and the immediate impression might be catastrophe, a slight from a colleague, and the impression is disrespect. The Stoic recognized that these initial impressions are often not rational truths, but rather swift, unexamined opinions that lead directly to distress. The power of assent, your moment of choice. This is where the Stoics' critical intervention lies. The power of assent, synchetathesis. We are not compelled to agree with every impression that flashes into our minds. We have a brief, yet infinitely powerful moment to pause, to examine the impression, and to decide whether to give it our intellectual approval or rejection. If the initial impression is, "This is terrible," the Stoic consciously interjects, "Is this truly terrible? Or is it merely inconvenient? Is this something within my control? What is the objective reality of the situation, stripped of my emotional overlay?" This pause, this deliberate questioning, is the crucial step in preventing negative impressions from taking root and blossoming into full-blown destructive emotions. Cognitive reframing. Reinterpreting reality. Once we withhold assent from a negative, irrational impression, the Stoic then proceeds to reframe it, to replace the detrimental thought with a rational, helpful one. This isn't about ignoring problems, but about reinterpreting them through the lens of virtue and reason. From catastrophe to challenge. Instead of seeing a setback as an end, the Stoic reframes it as an opportunity for practice, for demonstrating resilience, for learning. This is not a disaster. It is material for my virtue, as Epictetus might say. From insult to indifferent. If someone speaks ill of you, the negative impression is, "They disrespect me." The Stoic reframes, "Their opinion is outside my control and is indifferent to my true character. If what they say is true, I should fix it. If false, it doesn't affect me." From loss to return. When something cherished is lost, the impression is, "I have been deprived." The Stoic reframes, "It was merely on loan to me, and now it has returned to the universe. I should be grateful for the time I had it." This active process of seeking a rational, more positive interpretation is not forced optimism. It's a deliberate choice to align one's thoughts with truth and what is truly good, virtue, rather than being buffeted by irrational fears and desires. The role of virtue, the guiding compass for positive thoughts. What makes a thought positive in the Stoic sense isn't just that it feels good, but that it aligns with virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. A positive thought, from a Stoic perspective, is one that reinforces rational judgment and aids in acting virtuously. Thinking about how to patiently endure a difficulty, courage, or how to respond fairly to a frustrating situation, justice, are examples of truly positive thoughts that lead to inner strength and peace, far more so than superficial cheerfulness. The aim is not simply happiness, but eudaimonia, a deep flourishing that comes from living a life of moral excellence. habituation, and training. Rewiring the mind. Replacing negative thoughts with positive ones is not a one-time event. It is a daily discipline. The mind, left to its own devices, will often gravitate towards familiar, often negative patterns. Therefore, continuous training is essential. Stoic practices like morning and evening reflection, reviewing the day's events, identifying moments where irrational impressions took hold, and rehearsing rational responses for the future. Reading philosophical texts, immersing oneself in the wisdom of the Stoics to continually reinforce correct principles. Meditation, not just emptying the mind, but active contemplation of Stoic precepts and visualizing virtuous responses to challenges. Premeditation of evils, consciously thinking about potential misfortunes and preparing a rational, positive response. Through consistent repetition of these exercises, the act of examining impressions and choosing rational responses becomes habitual. The currents of the subconscious gradually shift, making it easier for rational, positive thoughts to arise automatically. From inner thought to outer vibration, when we consistently engage in this inner work of replacing negative, irrational thoughts with rational, virtuous ones, the effect is profound. Our inner state shifts from turmoil to tranquility, from anxiety to equanimity. This internal harmony isn't just for our own benefit. It naturally radiates outward. A person whose mind is calm, clear, and focused on what is good and true will naturally interact with the world with greater patience, kindness, and effectiveness. Their vibration, to use a more modern term, becomes genuinely positive, influencing their relationships, their work, and their overall experience of life. It is the ultimate testament to the Stoic belief that true well-being begins and ends within the fortress of the mind.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you.